Alright, Appendix A. Key definition. For the purpose of federal funding opportunity announcement, following key terms is defined applicant. Accessibility. For the purpose of the funding opportunity now, with the term accessibility, mean with the design, construction, development, the maintenance of the facility, the information, communication, the technology, the program, and service to all of the people, including people with disabilities, can fully and independently use them, and accessibility include with the provision, accommodation for the modification, ensure for the equal access for the employment, the participation activities of the people with disability, reduction, elimination, physical, and attitudinal barriers equatable to the opportunity for the commitment to ensure the people with disability independently access every outward-facing internal activity, electronic space of the pursuit, the best practice of the universal design, activity, the program, and events for the strategy, result of the output. Apprentice worker at least 16 years of age, except for the higher minimum age if the standard is otherwise fixed by the law, who is employed with a learning apprenticeship occupation provided in the Title 29 CFR 29.4 with an understanding of the apprenticeship following according to Title 29 CFR 29.5. Apprenticeship occupations are specified by the industry, which must meet with the following criteria: involve the skill of the customary, learn with the practical way through the structured systematic program on the job, supervised learning, clearly identified, commonly recognized throughout the industry, involved with the progressive attainment of the manual, mechanically technical skill of the knowledge of the accordance with the industry standard of the occupation when required with the completion of at least 2,000 hours of on-job learning to attain require the related instruction sublet on-job learning training apprenticeship agreement, the written agreement with the term of the condition of the employment of the training of the apprenticeship, the state for the purpose of the funding opportunity with the state defined with the urban area with the defined boundary with the governance structure, diversity for the purpose of the funding opportunity with the term of diversity, meaning with the practice with include with the meaning of the community, with include with the race, the ethnicity, the backgrounds, abilities, cultural specific benefits, beliefs of American people, to include with the undeserved, the community with the equity for all purposes of equity, meaning with the consistent, systematic, fair, unjust, and impartial treatment of all the individuals, including individuals who belong with unserved communities, have been denied with the treatment of Black, Latino, Indigenous, Native American person of the Asian American, the Pacific Islands, or other person of the color, and members of the religious minority, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, person with a disability, person who live with the rural areas, person otherwise adversely affected with the persistent poverty and inequality, equal equity partnership, the national regional partnership consists of the community based with the organization, labor to management organization, appreciate apprenticeship responsible for the workforce industry with education organization to work with the Department of Labor to approve the save of the apprenticeship agency to include the diversity, equity, with inclusion and accessibility effort to register apprenticeship within certain population communities have the traditional been unrepresented and serve the expansion of the registered apprenticeship, the expansion of the registered apprenticeship within the period of performance of the registered apprenticeship expansion include the additional new industry occupations employer with the existing registered apprenticeship program, incentive the payment of the employer to cover the cost of the training registered apprenticeship, inclusion of the purpose of the federal funding opportunity announced with the term inclusion means the recognition and appreciation and use of the talents and skills of employees from all backgrounds, industry a distinct group of the product or profit-making enterprise with the leverage resource funds with the coordinated the cooperative agreement to support cooperative agreement outcomes. Minority Serving Institution, or MSI, Minority Serving Institution Organizations or Association. Minority Serving Institution defined with the HBCU, with the HSI, Tribal colleges, institutions with primary focus on the serving persons with disability. National guidelines, apprenticeship, the development of the National Committee of the Organization, the Joint Unilateral, with the certified with the Department of Office, with the apprenticeship, with the Office of Apprenticeship, with the Administration, and some of the documentation necessary for the certified with the National Guidelines, with the substantial conforming with the requirements of Title 29 CFR Part 2930 with the purpose of the National Guidelines standard with the provide policy for the guidance local affiliate with the national organization developed in local standard with the approval of the registration local affiliate with the developed local standard with the registration, even though local standards may be debated for the organizational national guidelines standard that may meet the requirements of the must be approved of the registration agency and state. National programs stand with the standard of the development of the registry with the multi-state of the program, such as the registration, federal purpose approval of each for the state with the cover of the national program stand with the apprenticeship of the registry with the national program stand with the office of the apprenticeship of the registered agency with the national programs. New industry with the non-traditional registered apprenticeship with the new program, the program developed after the start of the period performance for the purpose of the grant of the new program and also the additional occupation within the registered apprenticeship program. The type of the work of the person does to learn a living is occupation. Opportunity youth for the purpose of the funding opportunity announcement. Opportunity youth is defined as young people between the ages of 16 and 24 that neither enrolled in school but not participating in a labor market outcome higher level to resolve the effects achieved the project activities in short-term, medium-term, long-term time frame of the project. Output, the direct result of the project activity series services produced by the implementation and activities participation individual determine eligibility of the Apprenticeship Building America grant program to receive the direct and grant funded service during the grant period. Performance partner prefers the organization and the assist of the implementation coordinated with the activity cooperative agreement include but not limited to subrecipient subcontract relationship with the lead entity Pre-apprenticeship is a pre-apprenticeship program defined instead of the strategies designed to prepare individuals to enter the registered apprenticeship program designed with a collaboration registered apprenticeship program sponsoring meaningful hands-on training does not display for the paid employee with the facilitated entry with the articulation of sustainability through partnership with accessibility appropriate support services. Program goals the highest level of resolve of the project intends to achieve the public sector of the apprenticeship with a very few public sector registered apprenticeship that there's any of the opportunity to expand with the example of the public sector of the registered apprenticeship that will include the roles of the administrator to educate for the health and information technology, public safety, the repair and maintenance, and transportation, public safety, registered apprenticeship are used mostly often in public safety, emergency services provided like police for firefighters, non-emergency services, occupation like building maintenance, the HAVAC techs, and information technology support. Registered apprenticeship programs, program elements outlined in Section 1A. The program purpose of the registered apprenticeship, the registered program, Office of Administration, Office of Apprenticeship, and Department of Labor to recognize state apprenticeship agencies set forth in set out in Title 29 CFR Part 29 and 30. Registered apprenticeship sponsor a person in the association committee of the community business organization operating the registered apprenticeship whose name of the program is to be registered and approved. Registration agency or Office of Apprenticeship, the federal recognized state apprenticeship agency that has responsible registered apprenticeship program improvements. This include providing TA, conducting the review of the compliance with the Title 29 CFR Part 29 and 30 quality assurance assessment. Scaling and scalable for the purpose of the funding opportunity. Scaling and scalable to describe the system that is allowable to grow to made large sector of a large general part of the economy, sponsor and employer with a joint labor management organization, trade association, professional association, labor organization, education training provider, qualified intermediary with applying to administrative to operate the program under the National Apprenticeship System. State of the term state, meaning of any of the 50 states of the United States, of the District of Columbia, or territory possession of the United States, with the purpose of the funding opportunity announcement of the territory of the possession of the United States, defined as Puerto Rico, using West Virgin Island, Guam, Commonwealth of the Northern Marina Islands, and American Samoa. Only state the agencies may submit the application for the category. Only one application may be submitted in the state of the respondent for the category. Supply chain industry. Supply chain industry occupation consists of taking natural raw materials, creating them into the final consumer product. Supply chain industry with the occupation includes logistics, warehouse, manufacturing, semiconductor, the transportation, support services of the partnership with the priority for the receipt of the grant funding and the services of either with the Office of Apprenticeship or with Workforce Initiative Opportunity Act funding program. They include services, but they're not limited to transportation, child care, dependent care, house counseling, other needless related payments that are necessary to enable the individual participation, educating, training activities funding through the grant. Supportive services activities may include the provision of actual supportive services, child care, provisional participation with a voucher for services, public transportation cards, and tokens to provide the specific and directly to the apprenticeship. The finding support services may not exceed 20% of the funding level. The plus refer to Section 4E, use of funds supported services for the apprenticeship. The sustainability focus on the measuring one of the benefits actively likely to outcome and after federally funded projected has ended. This includes evaluation of the likelihood of the benefits effect of that particular outcome, output or outcome, the continuum of that federal funding, and to the extent of the project take into account with the fact of the partnership, the institution likely to the strongest influence overall capacity, willingness to sustain and desired outcome, the impact of including examination, financial, economic, societal, social, environmental, institutional capacity of the system needed to sustain net benefits over time and involved with analysis, reliance, resilience, risk of the potential trade-off depending on the timing and evaluation that may involve the analyzing actual flow of the net benefits, estimating likelihood of the net benefits continuing over the medium and long term. Unrepresented populations are for the purpose of the Federal Opportunity Act. The term may include women and people of color, person with a disability, established in Title 29 CFR Part 30, where population participation registered apprenticeship programs less than would be reasonably expected given availability such individual apprenticeship in relevant industry occupation requirement recruitment area. Unserved communities participation should be particular characters as well with the geographical communities have been systematically denied full opportunity to participate with the aspect of the economic, social, and civil life exemplified with the list of the preceding definition, equity with the funding opportunity with the referred with the veteran for the incarcerated individual youth with the population of the youth applicant may be served a wide range of the individual high school opportunity youth who are employed with the unemployed with justice involved with the youth with the unrepresented population, people of color, women, people with disability, other youth with barriers of employment include foster youth, the parenting youth, the house with the insecure youth, youth apprenticeship, high school opportunity, out of school, the youth of 16 to 24 years old of the time of enrollment enrolled in the new existing registered apprenticeship program who otherwise meet eligibility requirements participate in the registered apprenticeship program. Youth Apprenticeship for the purpose of finding opportunity with the Youth Apprenticeship to register for the apprenticeship program focuses on a high school opportunity out of school with the youth 16 to 24 years of old at the time of enrollment, while the others meet eligible requirements to participate in the registered apprenticeship program. Appendix B, resources to help employers work inclusion.